Coming to you live from Bear Tree Park here in Sejong, South Korea. We are, of course, here today with ESL Open Cup Asia number 128, a special edition, which won't be special next week because we'll have the same one as. We have new maps! Say, and I am, of course, your host Yaku of the Zaku, and with me today is La Atmosfera de RIP 2000 Voy a Extrañar Blink-182. Like, underscore KFE, how we doing, like?
Sí, también voy a extrañar Blink 182. Ah! What's up, Yaku? Welcome back. I feel like your scream at the start was to not just wake everyone in the chat up, but also wake yourself up as well.
No, that was kind of?
Kind of. Yeah. Oh, God. But it's great to be back, Yaku. And as you were saying, today is a very special edition. As you can see, we are on some of them new maps, mate.
See. Data. This is my boot drive here. As we examine our new maps, and we are privileged to get the first one of them, I think. Question mark. We're in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. Wait, kind of bottom left-hand? It's not directly the bottom left-hand. It's kind of the bottom left-hand, but not quite. Somewhat in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, somewhat. The blue Zerg player from the land of Taiwan. He's, of course, going to be representing On-Site Gaming. He is Rex. La King.
And spawning in as I lower the in-game music a little bit. Just a little bit. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of ESL Data C or Data C. We have the Malaysian Protoss player himself. He is pink, representing Team Matexa. It is Ranger.
You goddamn Aussies.
Is it Data? Is it
Actually,
Data?
It's actually a SATA cable.
Oh, God.
SMH my head.
SMH my head. So fun fact, as we are popping off already, Ranger opening up with a Robo first, but I was going to mention how I was actually playing on this map last night on stream, and I was doing customs with Asher, and we both felt so awkward because, as you said, they're kind of in the corners of the map, the main bases, and the overall layout of the expansions here just feel really strange to play. They're not what we're used to. They're not like what we're accustomed to anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, but kind of interesting of how they go about it here. It's like you take a normal map and you tilt it 45 degrees.
Yeah, and also like this, like the third and your fourth, like there's like this little like area in between them with rocks as well, and to get into them, there are also like these choke points. It's like, yeah.
I'm just imagining wall of stasis wards by that rocks area.
Yeah, I can imagine. So it's really cool to see these new maps come into play. Meanwhile, as we get into this game, Rex, he has not been droning. He has not been droning at all, mate. This madman, he's going for a link flood. He's just sending it across the map.
And this is something that Ranger is not quite prepared for. Thankfully, he does have the wall up and running, but he doesn't have his shield batteries here. The drones have even been pulled just to get behind the Adept. Ranger, he's getting fully surrounded.
Yeah, he's getting fully surrounded. He's forced to try and recall to save the workers, to save the Adepts. Well, they do go down in the end. The Lings are in. The pilot's going to go down. And before we really got to talk about the map, it looks like Rex takes the first game.
Well, that's going to be enough of that. We don't have to be traumatized anymore by the C drive.
Oh, God. Yeah, not
Thanks,
any...
Rex.
Yeah, so this is something that I'm curious about. So, fun fact, a lot of the players actually don't have much experience on these maps at all. They haven't been practicing on them. That's the purpose of this week. The purpose of these coming weeks in ESL Open Cup Asia is to practice on these maps. And because it's because they're so new to them, a lot of players, I wouldn't be surprised if they do just cheese. It used to happen in GSL often as well with the GSL specific maps.
Yeah. Every now and then you get the one player who knows how to kind of exploit the bugs that haven't been caught out. And that's how end up winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Yeah, it's like you said, these maps are very, very new. Some of them were from TLMC, some of them weren't quite either, but at the same time, it's hard to imagine players were practicing on all of the TLMC maps in the hope that there was going to be a new map pool coming out.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of players that just weren't a part of TLMC, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it was a very niche tournament, all things considered, considering the amount of pro players that there are out there. So, yeah, we're all kind of experiencing this together. Hopefully, we get some longer games out of them as well, so we get to, like, really absorb them and get the most we can. But we'll see. We'll see.
Indeed we shall, and we will see it all the way from internal and external, as we are going to be loading in to Inside and Out, not to be confused with the Pixar movie. We're in the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner. We have our blue Zerg player coming out from the land of Taiwan. He's going to be representing On-Site Gaming, OSG. He is Rex.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside Out LE, we have the Malaysian Protoss player himself. He is pink, representing Team Mate Hexa. It is Ranger.
I feel like now that I know the name of this map, I'm going to be scouring around to see if there are, whatchamacallit.
Huh?
What do they call it? Kuro told me that there's an official term for them in map makers, but I just call them the Ewoks.
Oh, true. They're not Moogles, but there's something like that. Moopies.
Moops? Yeah,
Moopies.
Moopies.
Yeah,
That's the one.
True. So for something that, if you don't know in the chat, there is a map maker Discord server where they all kind of converge together and share ideas and talk about tile sets and overall map design. And a lot of them, once they do finalize the map for TLMC, they have a bunch of Easter eggs, and sometimes they can be difficult to find. I don't know if it's best for us to specifically look for them now, but yeah, they're out there, and maybe someone can catch a glimpse of something at some point.
Let us know.
If you remember, I think it was Frost or Frozen Temple. One of them had like the Lich King like in the corner, and obviously there's always Moopies.
Yeah. Everybody was pretty, excited to see that. Cyberforce, I think, was one of them where or a bunch of Moopies around to try to make it look a bit like Endor.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But so far as we get into this game, pretty standard opener here from Rex. This time, this madman is actually droning. He's actually making workers, which makes sense. This map is a little bit larger compared to Data C, or Data C. Look, his name was Data, okay? His name was Data.
Exactly. Data C is like his son.
Oh, God.
And yeah, this is definitely much more of a standard map than Data C. When we just look at the layouts here, top right, bottom left, and it's a square. Or a rectangle, I guess. It's not, it's not a weird rhombus kind of thing going on with Data C.
Yeah.
When it comes to the expansions.
Like, as we are slowly getting into this, and we have a Stargate opener from Rangers, so again, nothing crazy. This is going to get scattered by this Ling. There are also, I noticed, like, a lot of choke points and ramps around here as well. Something that I find very interesting is that there are ramps right next to the natural base, so, mate, I can see some tank positions here, like, some siege positions in general, even towards the natural, so, yeah, this is quite interesting, We have another bit of a Ling flood. Droning behind this, not as committed, but Lings nonetheless. Oh, God.
And this time Ranger is a little bit more set up for this, thankfully, since Rex did decide to join up behind all of this. A lot of adepts are here, and the Oracle is now out, but as the threat has been neutralized, Ranger's going to use this for harass.
Yeah, what I will say is that I'm glad that Ranger didn't end up wasting any of that Pulsar energy, of the Oracle energy on the defense at home. He didn't overreact. Instead, the Oracle is still going across the map, and Rex isn't quite ready with his Spore yet. He has plenty of Queens.
Yeah, Queen's actually getting a lot of damage done on this Oracle. A couple more volleys will take it out. But luckily for Ranger, there aren't any Queens in natural. He's turned around. No, Ranger, you're dancing.
Oh. that was that was dangerously close. At the same time, the Adepts move out. Unfortunately, the Lings were there to catch them, so the Adepts immediately are going to be going down here. 2 of them at least. Third one does get saved.
Yeah, Ranger will not have to give up his map control, not yet anyway.
Yeah. Rex was being a little bit greedy there, as you were seeing, where he only got a single spore and was relying on Queen, so he almost got abused for that. Did end up losing 3 drones in the end, and at least both Oracles are still alive. What I'm excited about is... Oh, God!
Not for long. One of them goes down, the other one not too far behind. Ranger really wants to get the maximum damage he can, but in the end will end up losing both of his Oracles. Only taking out 6 drones for both of them.
Yeah, not really worth it here, especially if Ranger does plan to go into that kind of Blink Stalker style composition here, which is what it looks like. And ideally, you do have Oracles to help support this. So he may have to change gears. He may have to adapt to the situation and try and pivot away from that and go for something a little bit more robust when it comes to a ground army.
Yeah, builds like this are very much reliant on stasis wards for defense.
Yeah.
It's a way to just sort of stall the momentum of Zerg players and move across the map. Ranger is in a lot of trouble, but he is still sticking to his guns. He's still working on this expansion. He's still throwing down some static defenses to try to help him out there.
Yeah, like, honestly, Rex is going to be feeling pretty good about killing those Oracles. And oh my God, he's going to be able to get the Stalker. Can he just bust in? Oh, Jesus Christ.
He may actually be able to. But just at the last second, yeah, Rex decides he doesn't want to risk losing all of his Lings unnecessarily like that.
Yeah, thankfully he does take this seriously. Okay, he does wall off in the end. We have Blink and +1 on the way. The Gateway Explosion is here for that mass Blink Stalker play. But again, because he also has all of his Oracles, I wouldn't be opposed to him throwing down a Robo and a Robo Bay just to like go for like Colossus or something else. Something else to support his army, because again, he doesn't have any more Oracles. Oh my God, he's throwing down a Epoxy Pylon.
He does not intend to get a Robo at all. He went Robo first last game.
That's true.
And he lost, so he's just going the exact opposite way, which is very worrisome for me right now, because that's a lot of roaches that Rex has.
There's a lot of roaches, a handful of Lings as well. Like, I just don't know if Ranger has enough here to really break on through. I mean, but he's committed, as you were saying. You know, he +1 is on the way. It's going to kick in a couple of seconds.
Well, let's see how well he can actually micro this with both Blink and Force Fields. It's definitely a chance here, you know, depending on the micro.
Ooh,
Rex
meanwhile,
hasn't reached that critical mass yet.
Yeah, Rex is in the middle of going for a bit of a counterattack, but they run into Adepts instead. So now Ranger's fully aware of the position of those Lings. At the same time, he's trying to break on forward here with his Stalkers, trying to dive on top of some of these Ravagers, but he exposes his own sentries.
Yeah, the Blinks have been really good. The sentry control, not as much. A little bit of an outpost here being set up by Ranger, but Rex very quick to take it out.
Yeah, exactly. The Lings rock up. They take out the reinforcements. The shield battery is already out of energy, and now Rex is on top of this. He can just bile it down.
Or can he? A lot of biles were on cooldown from earlier. Queen, hello?
Oh, the Queen just chilling there. A questionable Blink forward there by Ranger, trying to dive on top of these Ravagers, but the reinforcements are a little bit too much. We have 12 more Roaches on the way. Ranger cannot break this, not yet, and he's forced all the way back to his defenses.
Or can he? No, he can't. Oh. Yeah, there's a little bit too... The defensive advantage for Rex is just a little bit too good. We're at 82 supply versus 14 right now.
Yeah.
80 supply versus 14, but still.
Yeah.
Metric.
Like Ranger, he was trying to get a 4th base behind this, but there was no way to get that up. GG gets called, and Rex takes the series 2-0.
Nicely done. It's definitely pretty optimistic for Ranger here, just because specifically he has mentioned that recently he has been practicing a lot with Haas, so he has been able to get a little bit of understanding in that, but I think specifically he was practicing PvP with Haas, not so much PvZ.
Yeah, like to be fair, like there is a lot of power behind what Ranger was going for, but it is just a real shame that one, the Oracles didn't deal as much economic damage as they could have. 2, that they also died. And
Yeah.
because like there is a lot of power there in those oracles. A lot of people don't really think about it, but they are great supportive units, not just to kill lings, which could have helped, but like stasis traps we've seen time and time again, even during DreamHack, even in other matchups, to be fair, like stasis traps just make a fight for someone.
Yeah, of how aggressive Ranger was being there, if he had a couple of stasis wards, a little bit in front of that sort of outpost he was setting up, he was able to cut the army in half effectively, then maybe there was a chance. He had a lot of stalkers, he had +1. But yeah, it's like you said, it is a shame that it didn't pan out that way.
Yeah, in the end, didn't work out for him. Rex, just the macro machine was a little bit too good. Sure, he lost like 6 or 7 drones, but that was negligible. His creep threat was on point. He was able to cash the harassing adepts as well, and yeah, just a very solid play out of Rex in the second game. First game was just he just wanted to get over and done with.
Yeah, you did not want to deal with data anymore, which fair. I don't think many people do.
I've seen the chat for
It's
TNG.
weird.
Is that what we're gonna look forward to? We say goodbye to Blink 182, and now whenever we cast Data C,
we need something. We need something.
We're just gonna make a bunch of
that or Pixar.
We're gonna make a bunch of awful TNG references. Yeah. Steel is gonna have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
See,
wait, this.
No,
wait, that's a different movie. I was gonna say Stargazers is the name of one of them. I was thinking of Starship Troopers.
Yeah. I was gonna say that that's really what we were talking about, how like, oh, we get these new maps, time to analyze them, time to figure out like what things you can exploit on them and what you can't.
No,
mate, it's all about
about the memes.
It's the awful memes, mate. Shaking my head.